I now invite Mr. Ronnie Chen, Chairman of HLMA Properties, to come on stage and make some welcome remarks. Please welcome Mr. Chen.
They want to be on stage, that's why. But anyway, welcome. Carmen mentioned that many of the former winners of the Math Awards here with us today. Can I first invite them to stand up to be recognized? Some of them are gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal, honorary mention, doesn't matter. We are delighted that we stay in touch with them. We're delighted that you're back. So why don't you stand up and be recognized? Ladies and gentlemen, former winners. I didn't even tell Carmen this. We have another guest here that Shing Tung and I are very honored to have with us. And most of the students, when you came, you probably don't know that they will be here. We also have the very, very first Chinese Nobel laureate with us, Professor Xian Yang. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Professor Xian Yang. Ong Fan, Mr. Yang, delighted to have you, Ong Fan. Well, today is my birthday. That's not why I mention it. The reason I mention it is whenever you turn whatever, in my case 65, you begin to reflect a lot about life. So of late, because of my birthday coming, and because of my collaboration with Professor Yao for the last, well, close to 20 years, you know, we're of the same age, the same year, the same vintage, just like wine. If it's the same year, it must be good, right, Shing Tung? The only thing is his birthday is April 4th, the Children's Day. So Shing Tung has never grown up. He's still playing with mathematics. Anyway, as I reflect upon life and my collaboration with Shing Tung over the long years, I ask myself one question. I think by most account, I am fairly successful. I don't live like a pauper. I live pretty happily, pretty, comfortably. I do a lot for my company. I do a lot for society. Most people would say, yeah, if I can achieve what Ronnie Chan has achieved, that's not too bad. I have my enemies, that's okay. But then I begin to think recently that if I have a choice, would I be Ronnie Chan or would I be Shing Tung Yao? There are many successful businessmen on this earth. There are many people that are doing a lot of good for society. It's all good. But there are not many mathematicians who have achieved greatness, who have achieved the Fields Medal. And what they can do to society and for society, as I reflect on my own life of the past 65 years, I come to the conclusion that I think I'll be a happier man. Not that I'm not happy, I'll be a happier man, and I can contribute perhaps even more to society, to the country, and indeed to mankind if I were as bright as Shing Tung in mathematics. And I think I can testify over the last 15, 20 years that Shing Tung and I have worked together closely on various projects such as HLMA Math Awards, such as Morningside Medal of Mathematics. I appreciate Shing Tung even more than before. I always tell this story. I hope, Shing Tung, you don't mind. We go back a long way. And too bad that Christine, I got a note from Shing Tung early this morning. His wife just left. We had dinner together last evening. Christine has to go back to Taiwan to take care of her parents, I suppose. And when Shing Tung was still a young professor, he lived in Palo Alto because that beautiful, lovely girl who just left this morning to Taipei, that he was chasing after, went to the same church as my wife. who was then a high school student, and my mother-in-law. And Shing Tung has to be on the good side of my mother-in-law and my wife, because my mother-in-law takes care of that beautiful young lady. So we go back a long way. What I didn't know at the time was the heart that Shing Tung has displayed over the ensuing decades for mathematics, for the Chinese people, and indeed for science, for curiosity, for pursuit of knowledge, and what he has done for the students, not just in Hong Kong, but at Harvard in the United States and in Beijing, Taipei, Hong Kong, is indeed admirable. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give a round of applause to my partner in this wonderful effort, Professor Shing Tung Yao. Shing Tung, take a bow. So allow me to say this is the only chance I have to speak today. So students, let me give you a piece of advice. If you want to be a businessman and as successful as I am and perhaps more, go for it. But if you have a choice, if you have a brain for mathematics or other pursuit of science, I encourage you to follow the path that Professor Shing Tung Yao has treaded, rather than just to be another businessman. I know that as businessmen, we can do a lot for society. In fact, the last time I saw Shing Tung was when my family made a major gift to Harvard, the biggest they have ever received in their 300-some-year history. And the president hosted dinner for me and my brother and my family, and Shing Tung was there. That was the last time I saw him. Shing Tung may not be as wealthy as I am, but intellectually he's a lot wealthier than I am. And I think that as a scientist, as a mathematician, they can do a lot more good for society than a businessman can ever do. With that, I just want to finally thank several people for being here. We're very, very honored, Mrs. Carrie Lam, that you can honor us with your presence again to be the officiating person in this wonderful gathering. I want to thank Professor Xian Yang for being here. I want to thank Professor James Malise, the Nobel laureate, 1996 economics, now master of the Morningside College at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know, this university in the whole wide world, in the whole wide Asia, that has more Nobel laureates is Chinese University of Hong Kong. 2 out of the 3 are here with us today. The other is Professor Gao Kun. And then I suppose Bob Mundell also spent some time there, but at least 3 are really full-time at Chinese University. So don't say Hong Kong is not a place for great scientists. Anyway, we are delighted to have all these august academicians with us. I want to thank the adjudicating panel led by Professor Yao. We also have, I will only single out one person. Ingrid, we're delighted to have you. She is the she's a professor at Duke University and the chairman of the International Mathematical Union. That means she chairs a panel that choose the Fields Medals. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Ingrid from Duke University. Thank you. Susan, my colleague Susan, I want to make sure that the press have a chance right afterwards, perhaps before the press would interview the winners. I don't know who the winners are, by the way. I fully respect academic freedom. I could have asked, I didn't ask, because I don't know who are the winners. Before the press interview, the winners, the winning teams, Ingrid has kindly agreed, and perhaps some of the other members of the adjudicating panel, we have individuals from many parts of the world, make sure that they first speak to the press. I think their view of Hong Kong, their view of our students, of our mathematical research is really something that is worth your while listening to. But anyway, finally, I would just thank one more person. Since today is my 65th birthday, I want to thank my mother who gave birth to me, and it's delighted that she can be here with us today. Okay, sorry, I've taken too much time already. Carmen, back to you.